How's it going, everybody? We just launched our new Discord. Link is in the description down below. If you enjoy talking Pioneer and hanging out with other people who enjoy the format, please go check it out. Thanks. Oh, this hand's fire. This looks like a real deck. Except then we're going to draw on Esika's Chariot, and it's going to look very funny. Shock to hopefully kill one drop. Ah, Mono Blue Spirits, huh? I'll pass. I'll pass and I'll stomp. Stomp your one drop. No? Alright. Well, you can't do nothing forever, so. Maybe they can. We're disguising it. Maybe they'll just be like, oh, it's just a red-black pathway, obviously. No one looks at what pathways you play. Actually, that's fine. I would rather stomp that and hold up Fatal Push. Well, now I feel kind of dumb. Yeah, rattle chains us and draw your card, I know. Spell Pierce, okay. Kind of fine. Don't want them to draw their card, but as far as things go, it's better than I expected. Stomp them. Gaslight Snare. Great. Please stop. Just let me kill your one drop, please. We've exchanged so many resources for this one drop. Great. Lock this in for sure. I'll stomp this. Yeah, it's fine. Take one of your last two cards, please. Land. Okay, so they have a spell in hand. They can level, if they play a land, they can level this up twice. Yeah, it's a 4/4. Ouch. Need to find a Fatal Push in here somewhere. We're gonna Chariot because it can make a second blood token to kill this. I guess it becomes a 6/6, so maybe that was not the move, but also we're just presenting lethal. Yeah, we need 3 blood. But what this does, it lets us cast this. Brew it. Howdy, totally not holding. How are you doing? Definitely not holding. or 8. Done with Pioneer locals. Nice. Oh, thanks for the follow. Well, we have to find an answer, because unfortunately, they can just level this up, and this is still only 4. And he pushes. Damn, I'm gonna die by 1. Oh, hold on. Could we have won? Pitch a blood, pitch a card. Oh yeah, you missed us 3-2ing with this. It was sweet. Damn. That's fine. If we could have brought back Croxa, we would have won, but I don't think we could have. I think we would have been 1 card short. Actually, we could have probably sacked the 3-2 to kill the... Yeah, if we had sacked the 3-2 to kill this, the 1-3. Yeah, I think we could have. I think we could have killed. So it goes. Yeah, I think we could have. Sometimes it'd be that way. Athleon, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. It wouldn't shrink it. You can only do it at sorcery speed. So I think they were at 11. We had 1 blood. We... No hurt. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I think Chariot's pretty good, but maybe Cletus over it. I guess we are just keeping the boards super clear, ideally. Never blocking with Chariot? No, but we're making more things. We got plenty of tokens. That's true. Maybe we're just supposed to... That's probably right. We might do that for game 3. Well, we're gonna die to not drawing a land. Probably fair. Any red mana off the top? Jeez. Well, hard to win on 2 lands. Oh, that makes that a little worse. Fine though. Well, this is just... Look at the wealth of riches we have here. If we don't draw a land, I'm willing to go to the next one, so we can get some more. If we draw a red, at least we can dreadbore it, but we're never gonna connect with a spell. Sometimes it be that way. Why would they use a counterspell? They have this Mausoleum Wanderer in play. Keep this one. This game we're missing green mana, but we have Fable, so it's a lot more okay. Opponent's on a mull to 5 against the Croxa deck. Oh, we're against Lotus Field. Mike Bolfato, 77, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Oh, we're against a very different deck. But they're so card deficit that might be interesting. Okay, we might die. Do we have anything? We have Go Blanks. That's it. Like, actually it. Yikes. Massacre. It's a lot less fun when you play against decks that have any form of removal or counter spells. I will say that. But sometimes you don't, and then it's very fun. Yeah, they want to do this so they don't just leave their Hooting Mandrills out for us to kill if we have a Dreadbore. Look at that. Played around it successfully, opponent. Because if they just run out the Hooting Mandrills and we draw this Dreadbore, they're probably dead. But like, oh, they should have flashed back Otherworldly Gaze so that they had 3 more cards in the yard so they could Hooting Mandrills for 1 card and then Neoform in the same turn. Yeah, it's one of those things that like, if you want to go full on, just playing some good fun stuff, would recommend. Get rid of these. Nazi's you. Yeah, let's get rid of this Neoform. Yeah, they flashed back the Otherworldly Gaze. We could have probably died there, or at least they could have gotten a shot at it. So they search for Velomachus Lorehold, and then it's a 6/6 now, so they get to attack and look for exactly Part the Water Veil and Karn's Temporal Sundering. Get in there, lads. Alright, they have to kill us right here. We have them dead. Alright, game 2. Yeah, we legitimately do not have anything other than Go Blanks here. We can bring an extra Dreadbore, because sometimes they just like fail to go off, right? Pushes come out. Just like actually it. Anger does nothing, Chandra does nothing. I mean, like, we could play Chandra as a means to, like, cast a 6-drop to kill their 6-drop, but that's not happening, so. Okay. Really want to find Graveyard Trespassers so that we can keep their graveyard cleaned up. Alright. Just another reasonable hand, but might not be good. Damping Sphere worth it, makes it hard to cast Delve and Neoform extra in 1 turn. You just wait till turn 4. The thing is, it buys you 1 turn, it doesn't actually like stop them realistically. Although I guess the Damping Sphere then makes it tough for them to go off in 1 turn. Yeah, maybe that was right. Because then they also have a hard time killing the, or casting the extra turn spells. Leyline of Sanctity. We don't have Feed the Swarms in. We don't have them in the deck. One plan, please. Alright, we're just gonna try and attack you to death with 3/2. They kept 3? Okay. 1 card on top, 1 card on top. Could be a Hooties. I guess we didn't want to shock there because it represents 1 whole turn with Neomachus they have off. Yeah, we were probably not supposed to shock. We had to play black or red source, we just play Takenuma. Oh, well, there goes one Velomachus. They only play two. So there's that. We'll get this down because it represents a quick clock with this. Alright, you gotta gaze. Time to flip the other Velomachus. Nope. Put one card back on top. That's not good for us. They had one in hand, so they're probably just looking for the second piece of the combo, but if this Velomachus doesn't kill us, nope, just contingency plan, okay. Oh, they're putting a couple cards back on top here. Interesting. 3 on top, that means they're trying to, well, no, it doesn't even do anything, because when you Neoform, it shuffles it anyway. I was gonna say they're trying to set up the guarantee, but that doesn't even do anything. Get it. 5. Tracker. Harvester. Alright, we're presenting lethal. So they gotta do it right now, right here, and we gained 2 off the, or no, we didn't gain 2, we're just 18th. My head, Clothis, was already in play. There's passing? They're dead, right? Deck doesn't play any form of removal. Yeah, okay. Just some classic Neoform things. Gonna scar the children. Green Splash has been good. Tracker has been good. Chariot's been great, but I mean, Chariot's just a good card. Definitely one of those. I mean, if the mana gets better, which like as soon as we get Triomes, I'm gonna definitely be playing some. Oh no, not this again. Release me from this fresh hell. Good for the outvalued playing control for the most part. Oof. Hate to see that. Fireflight, thank you for the follow, friend. Yeah, it's always rough when you get outvalued playing control. We were playing a control mirror to start the day, and it just was like a grind beyond grind, but it's a good time. I always enjoy some good control mirrors, but they do sometimes just wear on me. Okay, so they could have rattle chains here. I'm gonna attack first. I'm happy if they want to trade rattle chains for this. Alright, nope. See if they counter Fable. Probably just gonna play. Yeah, there's the rattle chains. You consider blue-red control to be better all around than Winota in the current meta? They attack very different things. So Winota is really good right now because it's a bad matchup for mono green, which did very well the last couple weeks, and it beats up on Lotus Field. But if blue-white control is really popular, Winota immediately takes a loss in popularity. Whereas blue-red control attacks a lot of the smaller decks, and it has a reasonable game into a lot of stuff. It's just a matter of like, both are very good. It's just a matter of which part of the meta you want to attack. And honestly, I don't know which is the play 2 things. Tap down our Blood Tithe Harvester. It really just depends what you want to play against, I think, or what you're willing to lose to. But I like blue-red a little better than Winota right now. But Winota's a lot better if everyone on the format is moving towards the green deck, as we saw the last week or two. Because that's one of the green deck's bad matchups for sure. Yeah, it shifted back a little. Winota won the challenge yesterday. But that, again, it's mainly because it has such a good matchup into the green deck that you're rewarded for playing a deck that's a little bit worse in the meta that's good against something that's big. I don't think it's for sure the best deck, but it's definitely good. Excuse me. It's probably the best deck at doing its thing if uncontested, but that's a very different story. Field also has a good matchup against mono green. Actually, no, because you're just a Karn deck with a ramp deck that has Stamping Sphere's main and Godpharaoh statue. I think in the last couple weeks we've gone like not something like 7-0 against that deck with mono green. Which again, it seems like it'd be counterintuitive, but it's been very good for us. I think we're just gonna die, unfortunately. As is tradition against this deck. We're just gonna get ground out in the air. Think it would be a deck like this with Ob Nixilis to use Chariot to copy it? I think this would be a good shell for Ob Nixilis. Mono Blue Flyers is also a very good deck right now because it also beats up on green, has a good matchup into Winota, and is able to just like take tempo through the air. But it moved up to B this thing. The thing is like it's got to get some better finishes. It just always lacks those top finishes, but it's a very good deck in the meta, especially against mono green. Oh, I'm like 0-7 against it with green. I have not had a very good time playing it. Oh. Okay. We just deployed enough things. Yeah, Allied Fastlands would be gas for sure. Green black with pushes and Doom Blades. Oh, well sure. That's a very different deck. I'm talking about the mono green Karn deck. They're coming in, they're coming in. It's the same deck? Oh, you just added black for oh, I guess you're already black, but I guess the pushes and the Doom Blades are probably interesting as a consideration on Splash. Not against their deck. Their deck is we just don't want blank cardboard. I think we just have to 1-for-1 for them with them until we 1-for-1 with them infinitely until we establish Kalidas or Trespasser and try and pull away. Vraska instead of but Nissa's so good. It kind of sounds like you're a black-red mid-range deck with some Karn things in it, as opposed to being a mono green Karn deck with some splashes. Any Pioneer brews with new Capenna? I'm sure I'll get to it. I know it's not a very exciting answer, but I haven't put a lot of time into it because we were working on the 20 hours of stream. But next week, I'm sure I'll take a look at most of Capenna. Alright, so we're going to need to stomp something. I think the Anger is going to help us catch it back up, so I'm going to get rid of a Dreadbore. I mean, I love Ob Nixilis, so I want to see where that takes me. People have been showing me interesting like Luxior brews and things like that, but there's a lot of interesting stuff. It's just a matter of getting around to building it, I think. Alright, your 1-drop's in there. How many Jund Triumphs would you play in here? Probably 2. I mean, I think this is a deck that's a great example of like, it's not like we play 1-drop, so I'd probably play 3 and just like be happy with playing my 1-drop on 2 if I have to. Okay, well I'm gonna make you choose which creature you want to keep here, bud. That's fine. I accept these terms. Get this or this into play. No! Stop that! I hate Curious Obsession. They literally were like 1-drop, 1-drop, 1-drop. Any lands? No lands. Okay, any removal spell. I said any removal spell, huh? I think we just have to have to do this, and now we get to play Kalitas, and hopefully good. Turn 1 Elf into turn 2 double Ob Nixilis is very powerful, but I don't think you have to do that, and I'm a big fan of, like, just play your cards that are powerful, and don't warp your deck too much. If it's better to play the Elf, that's worth it, but if it's just to try and jam 2 Ob Nixilises on 2, I don't think it actually makes your deck better. It just gives you some optionality. Alright. Let's start gaining life. Don't think they can counter this on the assumption that we just push their guy. No, they do. Great push. Great counter it, sure. Sorin Xander is what you're excited about? I've heard a lot of people talk about that. It seems like it's pretty good. I really think the biggest thing about it is that it just gives mono, it just gives vampires a second thing to cheat in with Sorin, which is kind of what it's been sorely lacking. Oh, Shacklegeist is a good one. You need green mana, so I'll play this and then pass. If they're stuck tapping down this, yeah, the charms look good. I haven't given it enough time to actually like look through them all, but they do look quite powerful, which is good. I can leave back these two. Tap down this. We get 3 looks at removal. I think I would get rid of any card that isn't removal here. Okay, so they have another Spirit. Yeah, Rattle Chains, tap down our Idiot. Don't think Vamps will even end up playing it. I mean, I think you would have to, because that's the only deck that Sorin's worth playing in. I don't think you would play Sorin pretty much anywhere else, if I'm being honest. Oh boy. Wait, hold on. We can do this here. This here. Alright, you're up. Got a second Shacklegeist. We want to kill Rattle Chains there, because then they have to play at sorcery speed for their creatures, which is a very different experience. Faceless Haven coming in hot, huh? We're all over it, Hurt. We've done the Kalitas dance before. And then we get to start copying zombies, hit them with it, and then sacrifice them. Xander with a Voldaren estate, but not much else. I don't know if it's worth it at that point. Like, Xander seems good, but it seems really good to cheat it in. I don't know how good it is to just play it as like a value card. Tracker for Ob. You probably want to play at least one drop. Let's hope that our opponent isn't on mono red. Oh, please stop playing spirits, everybody, today. We played spirits like 9 times today. I need this for green. I grow weary of spirits. You gonna sacrifice? Okay. Sure. I think Ob is good in a lot of shells, but I agree. Rid of Shacklegeist. Hope they just don't draw a land here. Yeah, They're in terrible shape. Little Fable. Little Fable. Yeah. Rattle chains. Don't think you want to cut Thoughtseize versus Bant? Maybe? Taking Coco seems good, but we have Anchors post board for it. I don't know, it's close. Sure. I mean, we might just die here, but we get to pitch this Thoughtseize, I guess. Now we'd probably just pitch 2 lands. Or no, we probably just pitch this land. Yeah, we just want to draw removal instead. Get Machine Gun Kelly going. If we untap with the Fable, I feel like they're doomed. Alright, opponent got stuck on lands. I will put in the Kalidases, you don't have to tell me, Hurt. This is probably fine. These are all fine. I don't love keeping Thoughtseizes here, but I guess on the draw I don't mind 2 of them. This is better. Maybe Go Blank is better. Alright, I'll do that. I'm willing to compromise. I do think the trackers are kind of just sitting there in this matchup. They attack nicely, but not nice enough. Alright, sounds good. Black red, black red. I'm learning the names slowly. It'll take me a hot minute, but I'll get there. No 1-drop's good for us because we don't have an answer to 1-drop. We're just gonna try and curve here. Selfless Spirit, well. Fatal Push is a good one. Especially good because we can just sack this Blood Tithe Harvester to kill something around it too. Yeah. Sack this. Now Fatal Push this with this on the stack. And then we'll sack the blood to pitch a land. Oh no, here's a Coco, huh? Mini Volley is solid. Hope they go for a Spell Queller here. 2 Rattle Chains, huh? Four mana, get a 2/1. Deal. Now they can't pass back, otherwise they just flip our thing, and it's very hard for them to answer a 4/4 gaining 2 alive, gaining that much life each turn. Start with a Go Blank. That'll be next turn. We'll Kalidas, try and shore up the game. They got a Rattle Chains, Shacklegeist, huh? But I feel like that means they have to have another one. We need our own Blood Tithe Harvester here just to keep the life train going. Sad we lost all that potential life with the Go Blank, but we would have gotten blown out by that Rattle Chains otherwise. Still might, to be fair. Well, that'd be the 4th Rattle Chains, right? They have the 4th Rattle Chains. Selfless Spirit. Well, okay, we're just trading 1 removal spell for 1 card. And now they have no cards in hand. If they draw a land, they're kind of doomed, yeah. Question mark pings over here. Oh, well, we're playing a... Oh, not again. Stop. No more. This is going to be spirits, isn't it? No, it's actual just blue-white control. Okay, well, deal. Deal on that one. Gonna be pretty good, I think. And I drew that for turn. Alright, listen here, Chariot. You're not needed right now. We need a land. That's what's needed. Land is so good for us here. Not land is so bad for us. But I mean, they're blue-white, so they're not going to put us under immediate pressure. But... Well, that's bad for us. Remains bad for us, was bad for us. Alright. I breathed out a pretty big sigh there because we may or may not have 1 basic in the deck. Maybe. Nobody knows. Yeah, portable hole. You ever get strip mined on turn 2 with 2 lands in play? Alright, hopefully they don't just field this. But if they do, we at least get to draw it. Yeah, they're gonna. Yeet. Drawing our 1 basic when we're stuck on lands is not the look, huh? Like, actually not even in a bad way if we can draw a land here. Alright, Takanuma's good. Like, you gotta counter this if you have it, right? Because it creates a treasure-making threat, which is a problem, and also the loot's a problem. Okay. We in there. Gonna scry too? Sure. We know about 1 verdict. Fine. Rid of that. We know about 1 verdict. What are they gonna do with the scry? One top, 1 bottom is dangerous. So it's either the Wanderer or the Fairy. Could be Farewell. But I don't think the 60 card version was playing more than 1. Sure. Pitch this, pitch this. Why are you still the wrong color mana? Alright, I'm just gonna make another one and play our Hive. Do you want to pitch this for green mana? Is this one getting countered? Oh, alright, well. We know they have Supreme Verdict. We're gonna get a Fable going. Maybe they just wanted to, like, potentially keep us off of red mana? And they know about the Chariot, so. They have Supreme Verdict Mystery card. We might just stand this up and kill if they don't show us anything relevant. Veto? Well, they have a verdict. We're not super interested in just slamming Crocs into it. Well, they could have March, though, huh? We know they have Veto Supreme Verdict. I think we gotta kill this Narset. Okay. Happening. Cool. I mean, if they don't verdict, we get to just, like, start machine gunning for blood tokens. Deluge. That's kind of weird, given we have this hive and we just swung with it, right? So fresh. 1808. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. I mean, I'd like to eat your memory, Deluge. Alright, so we still know about Verdict Veto. Oh, well, that land's gonna be a bad thing for us. Second field is oof. They saw I didn't have a basic, so they could just hit our red source, stop Croxa. We really want to just force them to play this. Okay, well. Play Harvester. Get a blood token. There's this Fatal Push. Still the wrong land, huh? How dare you? I don't want to keep the Dreadbore. But I like need to potentially hold this depending on what they... I guess because we're not doing anything anyway. I'll just hold this in hand, and if they Field of Ruin a red source, we keep it. Sure, now we just play this and kill the Wandering Emperor, right? Oh, well, they have Veto. So I guess we play it, Dreadbore, they veto it, and then we stomp it next turn. Yep. Alright. Jose Jr., thank you for the sub over on YouTube. Appreciate you. I mean, they have to verdict this board, right? Like, we're just gonna keep making blood tokens and things. Didn't exile a tap Kiki? No, because they were... Well, that's actually, yeah, kind of weird. Kind of sus. Now that you mention it, I hadn't noticed that, but yeah, now that you mention it, Peter. Kind of sus. Alright, they're thinking about verdicting. Like, I think they're just worried about, like, they verdict, then we slam, what a sussy baka. Oh no, it's true. Yeah, Exile and Kiki were making a guy and blocking both. Well, the problem is, like, the 3/2 goes away anyway, so, like, I would have just made a 2. I would have just made a guy and not blocked, right? Their guy 6 around, ours doesn't. Just take advantage of that. But I guess if your assumption, like, if they assume they're gonna verdict here, right? So they're like, I'm locked into verdicting, then they don't want to make a guy. They want to just exile gain life, but then, yeah, you just wrath the Kiki anyway. But the problem then becomes, you know what this Croxa. Well, that's terrible for us. Just the utter worst. Yeesh. Alright, well. That was a good one for them to find. That's probably what they were digging for with what's it called? With Deluge. Alright. We're just gonna tag him to death. I'm gonna hold this in case of a shark. We get a green source? Anybody got a hot line on a green source? Hey, look at us. We got a counterspell now. Counterspell Verdict are the last two. Yeah. Alright, well. They are drawing a card blindly. They get to kill our hive. We are in desperation mode. We have some good draws, but not many. We are deep enough in the game that they're gonna have many more good draws than us. Alright, I think this one's going to game 2 shortly. They're just gonna scry to... I've seen this song and dance before from the side of being the blue-white player. But we have plenty of good tech for them in the board. So that's what we're gonna have to do. Our set. What you got in our set? Portable hole. That's pretty bad. Alright, so Dark Boar is green. Got it. Dark Boar is green, Blight Step is gonna castle. Alright, alright. They get they play 3 Field of Ruins and we're running 1 basic. Anyone ever dream of a terrible scenario happening to them in real time? Portable hole. Coming in hot. I mean, now we're just a Croxa away from winning the game. Well, let's find a Croxa, huh? They can do both? Yeah. Use both castles on end step is a real yikes for us. We gotta find a Croxa like this turn. And then they just... well, no, they can't portable hold it. We need to find Croxa. Croxa, buyback Croxa, but we can't do it in 1 turn. 2 to the top. We're fucking dead, boys. What are we doing here? Just 2 to the top pass? Alright. Who's ready to get Empress? Wandering Emperor over here? No, we're just blocking? Sure. Alright, is it a counterspell or is it a memory deluge? Which is it? It's one of them. No, it just resolves. Okay, so it's probably a deluge. Do this, so we have all our colors up. Alright. You know about a portable hole? Just scry. We can stomp a 1/1 too. What'd they do with that scry? 1 top, 1 bottom. They've kept a card on top twice now, so it's gotta be something good, right? The Teferi? It's a verdict. Okay. Oh. That's the 3rd verdict? Yeah. I'll play this first in case they have a counterspell. No vetoes, please. No vetoes, please. No vetoes. Okay. Greg Davison, thank you for the follow for the sub over on YouTube. Appreciate you. We're closing in on 2,600 over there. One top, one bottom, huh? Portable hold, the 2/2. We knew that was gonna happen. What else did you keep on top here? You're just blowing up a land? No. The Teferi. March. Blech. I needed that so bad. Damn. That March would have, or that Fable would have gotten us a nice draw too. Yeah, they're gonna just block to protect their life total. Play this so we have a shot at sneaking a Crocs of flashback Crocs in the same turn at some point. Damn. Alright, they play a land. They get to make both castles though per turn. Thoughtseize is not gonna get us anywhere. We're just on the Bone Crusher beatdown, but they got this castle that's gonna do us in. We needed that that draw too. Show me what you got. I assume it's nothing, but paying costs. Oh no, that's illegal. Oh? Take 2 damage and don't get to scry and we draw a card? Yes, please. Damn it. That would have been such a great time to just like slam Chariot or like slam something good. I mean, the Fatal Push will at least kill a 1/1, but that would have been such a punish. Like, they had the Bone Crusher under control. I think they're just supposed to let us Thoughtseize that card. Like, almost assuredly. Oh, it's a little Teferi. A little Teferi. We can go next. Huh. Okay, we want this, we want these, we want these, we want this. Hooray for Dirtles. Alright, get rid of pushes, we want the Dreadbores. Bone Crushers are at their weakest here. If we had the Chandras in our deck, we could have had a real good draw, but... Alright. We have a plan. Not having any Swarm yes, was it Swarm? Not Swarm, no, it is Swarm, right? The 2 mana destroy a creature, an enchantment, and take damage equal to its mana value. Having no feed the Swarm. Having no feed the Swarms is kind of a problem against Rest in Peace. I'm now realizing, but we only have Crocs that cares about that, so it's not actually a big deal. Just tuned in. Why is it that tracker versus tireless tracker? For the most part, it's because the clue copying with Chariot's good, as well as it being able to crew Chariot right away by itself, and it being able to be a much better Fable copy than tireless tracker, because we won't always have lands, but this will always draw us a card. Liquid Horizon, thank you for the follow. Bionite Campio? Not probably close, I'm sorry. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Didn't see the bottom text? Ah, yes. Yeah, me and any names are tough. Me and names that appear to be of a different language even tougher. I am generally one of the worst at them, I'm sorry. Mad Kiwi 15, thanks for the follow, appreciate you. You'd think with the amount I've been streaming I'd get better at it, but I don't actually think I have at all. Alright, so that was their draw for turn. Stomp you. I think we're just in on playing a 4-3. We'll get this down next turn. Cycle, irrigated farmland, sure. They kept a real kind of like slow hand. Fountain tap, sure. Don't really want to commit onto the board. Now we don't have to. We can just commit to this. Bauen new ite campion? Baua no ti campiwa? Should have played that black for Croxa. True, true. Look at your brain. You're just so locked into the red-black lines. But see, this is why this card is better than Tyler's Tracker in this deck. It comes down after a Wrath, Crew's Chariot. We can now have 2 clues sitting around. Just instantly demonstrating the consequence, or the thing. Yeah, it should have been black. Yikes. Okay. Okay. Little Teferi. You've learned from many self-inflicted puns? True, true. Tucking the tracker, huh? Well, what if we just do it again, huh? So let's draw a card. Try and hit a lane drop. We miss. Black, red. Play Croxa, Crew Chariot. Well, this is going well. We know they have a portable hole in hand, so this Croxa getting flashback is not particularly of importance to us. Be able to Thoughtseize plus Tracker next turn. Here goes the hole. Built a fairy. Blue token, let's go. Another Teferi, makes sense. What's the dog doing? Playing some Jund midrange. I'm shocked you aren't in here just like battling. It's been good. We 3-2'd the last league. We're 3-1 with this league. Thoughtseize you. Hullbreaker Horror. Gotta go. I think we just have to Dreadbore this too, unfortunately. Okay. We might just draw 2 looking for lands for the Chandra, because that's probably our best win condition. Okay. Am I willing to get this tracker eaten for another clue? And 2 loyalty off this? No, I'm not. We're good. We're just chilling. She comes for you all the same. What? What? We took this. Oh, Shark Tooth. I was like, panic. We double got him? Nice. Yeah, that would have been a bad one. All so we know about Emperor. Okay. Crack a clue. Look for land. Dreadbore this. Attack with our vigilant creature that doesn't get Wandering Emperor. Brewing a version of a deck similar to this, but I had a bunch of Planeswalkers, Ren, Sorin, Ob, Chariot to copy their tokens and Storm. We were playing a deck like that in Standard, and it was really sweet. I was a big fan of it. It does a lot of cool things. Also, this having Vigilance, getting around this is kind of nice. Tracker's been impressive. The green cards have been quite nice. Any Aether Gust in chat? Otherwise, our opponent's going to be in a bad way. Yeah, the Planeswalker heavy decks are very strong. I would like to move to you have 6 turns to kill us, opponent. Try to won't save you now. Two on bottom. That's nice to see. Always yield to that emblem, because we're planning to make more of them. Yeah, you got a 3. That doesn't really do much, because we can make a 4, right? And, like, verdicting does nothing here, so if you get us, then, like, okay. Your non-spell mastery the Lotus opponent casts a Dark Petition. Oh no. Opponent, we don't do that here. That's not how that works. Hmm. Let's do this. Little Croxa. Yeah. All right. Okay, we're going to a game 3 here. Like what we got going on. A little worried about the Shark Typhoons, but maybe we don't need to be. Maybe the idea is that if we get to that, I guess the Bone Crushers are kind of bad. I'll put in 2 Fatal Pushes for them. I mean, Bone Crusher's fine, but we have enough other things that are threats. And like, we just want the game to go late enough for us to find Chandra, if we're not already killing them. Game 3 for the 4-1 with Jund stuff. Jund truly mid-range stuff. Love to see it. I mean, this version of the decks felt pretty good, to be honest. This back over. Find it real quick. Visage would be really nice in this deck for blue-white control. Yeah, some form of interaction with lands would be nice for sure. The mana is just stretched so unbelievably thin at the moment that I think we can't really afford it, but ideally we'd be able to. Grabbing this. Oh, this is the hand we have no red. This is the hand we have no red, and we have a Fatal Push and not a Thoughtseize. I think I'm gonna call it. This hand's a lot better. We have all our mana. Mantis Rider 93, thanks for the follow, appreciate you. We want to do this into this. I think we're gonna put away Chandra. He's far enough away. Maybe it's just wrong. Maybe it's just always wrong. No Jund Triomes? Damn. Imagine if we could have Jund Triomes in this deck. How nice that would be. Oh, they're on a mull to 5? Yeah, Thoughtseize them. I'm gonna take this Shark Typhoon. I mean, that's probably fair. We know about Veto. So we're just gonna play this Klothys and or maybe just play this Trespasser? Yeah, I'm just gonna jam a Trespasser. Yeah, the new set does, but the new set isn't out on Magic Online yet. So in theory we'll be getting the Triomes at some point, just not yet. Are we flipping this? How rough is it if they let this flip? Get in for 4 a turn. Black. Oop, need green. Okay, I zoned out for a minute and I missed part of the conversation. Yeah, just knows Jund Triumph's in this deck. This is a creature on the stack and an enchantment in the battlefield. Doesn't get vetoed. Thanks, Theros. Appreciate ya. Got a memory deluge cooking? Oh, they're gonna pitch card? Pitch the veto. Oh, opponent. You're gonna want that veto back. 5th land. Yeah, they have some odd names. I was gonna say interesting, but really it's just odd to a degree. Oh, they have another counterspell? Damn. Alright. I play a lot of blue-white. I have no problem with it. I understand it frustrates people, though. Alright. Drain them and stand up this Hive of the Eye Tyrant. We have a plan. Yeah, it's been a real nice time. I'm sad that it auto does it. I would have chosen not to do it, but yeah, we're I think we're number 2 in the Magic channel right now in views, which is sick. Appreciate everybody who's hung out. Obivio Boluda, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Yeah, we're number 2 in the category right now. Another 10 hours, rip it. No thanks. Mend MTG, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Do this. $10-hour Jund stream went. That, I mean, we've done Jund for like the last 3 hours. Just Jund every format. We might pitch this Takanuma. Just the Jundathon. Thoughtseize. They're on a clock. It's just not a super fast clock. And we can't actually fire this up. If we find any... Nothing good. Alright, you're up. We're gonna have to fire this off at a point just to, like, dome them. Cycle. Just the Jundathon. Everyone in the Junderdome. Yeah, they're gonna do this now because it's the only time they're gonna have free mana. Alright, we'll get our 1 basic. That feeling when there's 4 lands in the graveyards. Oh. Let's dome them. Little Croxa. Got anything good over there, opponent? Portable Hole. That's a spell. We're gonna dreadboard this. Attack with both of these. They stand up, eat one of them. They take 2, and then we're 2 turns away from killing them. This is just a... Oh. Oh. Well, they have no cards in hand, so let's hope they just don't draw a spell. So we look very foolish with this Dreadboard gone now. Okay, they didn't draw a spell, or they would have bounced this Lothus. 100%. Discard, buyback Croxa, GG. We did it. We have mastered the Jund. We got the 4-1 with the Jund midrange. Let's go. Kurt, I found your Pioneer deck. Alright, let's crack our chests here as we approach the last few minutes of the 10-hour stream. The Jundis. Love it. Oop, quantity 1, so we're not scrolling forever. Deck definitely has some potential. I am a big fan. Alright, show me something good. A whole foil set of Zendikar. Wait, is this the one that has all the pathways? Is this the one that has all the pathways? Well, Lumpa, let's go. This is the one that has all the pathways. They're $1 million. All right, that opponent we had that told us we should go to Vegas, you're right. I'm sorry. I want to formally apologize. You were right. We're going to Vegas. Oh, it has Omnath too? Oh, jeez. That's so sick. Hey there. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you've enjoyed this content on either Twitch or YouTube. If you did, please like or subscribe. If you didn't, be sure to leave a comment down below. I promise not to read it. Until next time.